Hey, I'm back again with another video on the Yamaha 2023 XSR 900. Absolutely love this bike. Very little gripes. Um, Recently I had some issues with the turn signals coming loose out of here, and I'm not sure if that's because I took this cover off. In an earlier video I showed you how to do that to get this radiator cover I bought. Has XSR on it. It's pretty cool. It's like a, radiator guard, give you extra protection from rocks and stuff. Anyway, so if these ever get loose on you and they flop out or whatever, you're gonna have to take these two bolts loose, and you could just pop that rubber grommet back all the way in to that spot inside where it seats, and then put the screws and this cover back on, and then it'll be fine. I think the problem was I had bought a motorcycle cover on Amazon. It's a little bit too small for this bike, and when I would take off the cover at work, it was pulling on these quite a bit. I think it just ended up pulling them out of this little location where they pop in with like a rubber grommet. Anyway, they're good now. I got me a larger cover, and I'm not having that issue, so that obviously I was probably doing that. Mirrors. Yeah, if you're going to lane split, I recommend that you just wait till the light changes and you go through the intersection, and it opens up a little, and then you can, lane split, no problem. But a lot of times at the light, for whatever reason, people like to hug the inside line, both lanes. So there's not a lot of room usually. In my estimation, experiences I've had going to work and stuff. So I just be patient, and I wait till I go through the intersection, and then I end up lane splitting between cars if I need to get around them. I love these gold rims, I'm telling you. My wife loves them too. They're just so beautiful. Spin forged wheels, I guess. Definitely a plus. Really makes this bike kind of pop and give it some curb appeal. A lot of guys took this off and they did the fender eliminator, and they tucked the license plate back up underneath the seat, but I don't know, then you're just a target for cops to pull you over. And like I said in an earlier video, when you're riding in the rain or inclement weather, you're going to get, you're going to have this back wheel kick up whatever's on the road onto your back. So, I mean, if you like getting dirty, well, then that's fine, then get rid of it. But I'm leaving mine. I like it, and it prevents stuff from throwing back up on my back. I bought this bike as a commuter, and that's what it's for. That's its main purpose, and it's really great for that. I just wanted to test the gas mileage on this, because ever since I've got it, from around November, I think, of 23 is when I got it. Man, I can't ride this bike slow. I mean, I just rip on it. And I was like, you know what? I want to see what this bike can actually get with gas mileage if I just put it in cruise control, don't go faster than 64, 65 in 6th gear. And actually, I got like almost 59 miles to the gallon the other day. So if you're looking for fuel economy, man, this bike can really do it, even though it's a sport bike. You can get up to almost 60 miles to the gallon. And if you rip on it, probably more around 35 miles to the gallon. I don't wash this bike too much, 'cause I know water likes to cause rust and stuff like that. What I normally do is I get Mother's Wax brand, called Mother's Wax, and I find it at AutoZone in different places. It's really good. I really recommend it. It's a little pricey, but man, it works really good. And you just get a microfiber cloth, you spray the cloth, and then you wipe down the bike and kind of rub the wax in. And when you do get bugs from riding, which I'm already getting a lot of bugs because it's kind of the springtime, it's getting close to April, and with that Mother's Wax, it provides like a layer onto your paint and your surfaces, and So when you want to clean it, you just spray it and you just wipes right off. The bugs just come right off. So that's definitely a plus in my opinion. And it keeps your bike looking nice and new and shiny. And yeah, you know what? Second gear is definitely an issue. I don't know, maybe because the emissions and the regulations they had to do with this bike to get it to ship to California or whatever, but or the United States. But second gear really sucks, man. It's like corked up. It's like, you know, it doesn't want to just. It's like you hammer on the gas and it's just like, bleh. I mean, you can kind of feel it lug. And when it gets about closer to 7,000 RPM, it opens up finally. And, you know, it takes off. But from like 0 RPM to 7,000, it just corked up. It just bottlenecked up. It doesn't move. And it sucks. And I don't know why, but it's the only gear I've noticed that. It's second gear. First gear is great. That's why I do all my wheelies. You know what, man? I've never done wheelies before, but until I got this bike. Okay? I mean, when I was a kid and I had a dirt bike, sure, I did them, right? Years ago. But not on a street bike. But this bike is just absolutely fun to do wheelies. And because it has a longer swing arm than the MT-09, you're not going to come up to a 90. I mean, I guess if you swing your body weight backwards when you're doing the wheelie, you could probably get it to come up even higher. But if you just hammer the gas, you're going to come up in first gear, especially in mode 1. All right, with TCS mode 1 as well. You're going to come up at a 45. And you're pretty much going to stay there at 45. You could hammer it as much as you want. I've gone 50, 60 miles an hour in first gear doing a wheelie. And 45 degrees is as high as I come up. So it's very comfortable. It's not too much of a wheelie where you're going to freak out. Maybe think you're going to, you know, fall backwards and lose the bike. But I was doing that the other day as I came off work. I was getting into town. And I was at a light, turned green. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this thing rip. And I come up in first gear. And I'm hitting like 50, 60 miles an hour. I look over to my right, and there's a Hanford bike cop, man. He's just staring at me. And he's like doing the arm motion like, slow down, slow down. And right away, I came off the gas, let the bike come back down. And I got back, you know, let it come back down to the speed limit. And I thought for sure he's going to pull me over. He didn't, man. I felt so lucky. I didn't get pulled over. And but I got a warning. And I'm glad that cop gave me a break, man. If you happen to watch this video and you're that bike cop, man, thank you, man. I got the message, dude. And I'm definitely going to tone it down because town's not the place to be doing that kind of stuff, you know. There's people walking on the streets, and it's just, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong and you can get hurt. If you're going to do it, find an empty parking lot, take it to the track, or go out in the country somewhere where you're going to be away from people, you know, in case something goes wrong when you're doing that wheelie. So yeah, I got to slow it down. So I tried that. The other day. I slowed it down and I just took it normal, you know, just drove it, just relaxed and used cruise control and kept it under 65. And I got like almost 60 miles to the gallon. It was like 58.8. So that was cool. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I can't think of any other gripes really. I really can't. This bike is great. I love it. Yeah, I wish it had a louder exhaust, which I might get rid of the stock exhaust and do an ECU flash down the line. I don't have the money right now. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life with my house and miscellaneous things coming up that I got to spend money on. I just don't have the money for putting in the bike right now. But yeah, eventually, like maybe next year in 25, I want to get an aftermarket exhaust. I was actually thinking of getting the GPR exhaust. It sounds really great with the baffles removed. It's loud. It sounds like a two-stroke. There's a guy on YouTube channel, Prog Biker, and He has the XSR like that. It's a 900. It's an older model. I think it's a 21 or 22, and it's all black. And he has a GPR exhaust with the ECU flash. Man, that bike sounds sick, man. I'm telling you, it sounds so good. It sounds like a two-stroke. It really does. Sounds crazy, but I wouldn't mind getting that, you know. But you know, we're looking. It's probably around 2,500 to 3,000 bucks to get the pipes and to get the ECU flash and all that. But yeah, if you're a short rider, man, this bike is freaking great. It's like the shortest bike on the market, I want to say, with seat height. And I have no issues putting my feet down when I need to, and maintaining control of the bike at all times. Even though I'm not on my tippy toes, but I'm not flat-footed either. I'm kind of halfway in between that area. But it's, you know, you just lean over and you can get flat-footed, no problem. And it's not a drastic lean or anything like that either. So it's totally doable. I love the neutral riding position on this bike. It's very comfortable for commuting, even going long distances if you needed to, which I haven't really done yet. I did take it like on a 3.5 hour ride from Sacramento, where I bought it back in November of 23 when I picked it up finally. And it was kind of brutal because my body wasn't used to that forward leaning position. You're just slightly leaned forward a little bit with these handlebars, but not like a crotch rocket, you know, not in that way, but it's enough to, if your muscles aren't built up enough in your traps, your upper back, you're going to get cramps. You're going to feel it after a 3.5 hour ride. I did. But, you know, after like 2 weeks of riding this bike, my muscles got used to the riding position, and I'm fine. It's no issue at all. So, like I said, very little gripes. This bike, I mean, for the money, you can't beat it. You know, I think I paid like $1,300 altogether. You know, because you got all these hidden fees, right? You know, the bike's listed as $9,999, but with all the hidden fees, the DMV fees, taxes, shipping, it was like 13 grand I had to pay. But for a bike, I mean, that's relatively cheap for a new bike, honestly. And a bike as good as this with a lot of benefits. I mean, the quick shifter, I love the quick shifter. I'm always quick shifting. I've never had a quick shifter before. I've always loved using the clutch, but I tell you, this bike, I mean, the quick shifter is so easy, so nice. I'm always using it. And sometimes I'll use the regular clutch when I'm downshifting up to a light. I'll still use the clutch sometimes. I don't know why, maybe old habit. But like I said, you know, the quick shifter works great, and you can also use the regular clutch if you need to. You want to shift regular, you know, like old school. But this bike will take off so fast with that quick shifter. I mean, you'll leave people like way behind in your rearview mirror, no problem. I've had people try to race me in this bike. They can't. They just can't. In a car, you know. I'm sure there's some supercars out there that could do it, but I haven't met one yet. But there's a lot of bells and whistles on this bike with this computer. And the 6-axis IMU computer. There's so much you could do on it. That's ridiculous. I love the cruise control. I mean, this bike is just it drives so easy, so great. Even high speed around curves in the road, it just hugs those curves. You don't feel any instability whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it just hugs that road like you wouldn't believe. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that because I bought this bike, all right? I'm giving you an honest review. Like, this bike is just built so well. Yamaha did such a good job on this bike. I love the retro look to it. You know, it's the same power plant as the MT-09. It's got a longer swing arm, so you're not gonna lose control of the bike, even if you do pop a wheelie. And if you don't like wheelies, you can always go on your computer here, cycle the little wheel through the menu, and you could downgrade the power on the bike. You know, you could really limit the power. I didn't want to say mode 4, it's just like no balls at all. Like if you're going to ride in the rain or you're just a new rider, you could really, there's a lot of rider aids where you can downgrade the power to suit your level of riding and your skill. So that's my 2,000 mile review. I'm going to do a chain cleaning. I'm going to do a video on that, how to really tear apart your well, not tear apart, but take off this guard and really get in there, and how to really properly clean your chain. The chain maintenance, that's very important. Sprockets and chain, you're looking at 150, 200 bucks to replace, you know. But if you take care of it, you oil it, you clean it periodically, and re-oil it, you're going to get a lot of life out of that chain. I want to get a GoPro. I actually have a GoPro, but I need a new GoPro battery to start filming maybe my commute to work. Show you how this thing rides. I'll make it a short video, maybe 10 minutes of riding or whatever on my way to work. But yeah, love this bike. I totally give it like 9.5 out of 10. Easy. Like I said, there's a few little gripes, but it's easily fixed, you know, down the road. When you get more money, you could lose those mirrors, put some different ones on, have them come in where they're facing inboard instead of outboard, give you a narrower profile for when you're going between cars, lane splitting. And yeah, second gear, I mean, that's just a matter of emissions, trying to get this thing to sell in California. So losing those stock pipes and getting an aftermarket pipes without baffles, whatever, if you want it louder or not, and then an ECU flash, you're going to get a lot more response out of this bike, especially in that second gear range, from what I hear. So, well, I'll see you in the next one.